There was a time when if you went to watch a Warner Brothers movie, there's a good chance you would see the Village Roadshow Pictures logo at the start. They had a long, successful partnership for many years, with them putting a good amount of financial stake into any number of films. Village Roadshow was founded in Australia and was prominent there for their chain of movie theaters, which specialized in state-of-the-art seating and screens. They also helped distribute Warner Brothers movies there for a while. When the De Laurentiis Entertainment Group was having financial issues and teetering close to bankruptcy, they acquired their studio lot in Australia with plans to use it for their newly formed Village Roadshow Pictures. That first production was The Delinquents, which was released in 1989 in partnership with WB and got quite a bit of attention in Australia. Through most of the 90s, Village Roadshow largely invested in smaller films mainly shot in Australia and released by a variety of distributors. They had particular success with the action movie Fortress. The company also got involved in some bigger studio films. The superhero movie The Phantom was one of them, with several scenes filmed on the Village Roadshow soundstages. However, not everything they helped produce was filmed in Australia. The historical drama The Power of One was primarily shot in the UK and Zimbabwe, for example. They would have bigger ambitions, though. In December 1997, Warner Brothers signed a deal with Village Roadshow Pictures to co-finance at least 20 movies over 5 years. At that point, Bruce Berman, who spent many years at WB as president of production, was hired to run Village Roadshow as its chairman and CEO, so he found himself agreeing to help finance films he'd already approved when he was at Warner. Both companies had an equal partnership share. Warner Brothers had the option of letting VRP have a 50% stake on certain movies or not at all. You've Got Mail, for instance, was a production that Warner preferred to invest in by themselves. As part of their agreement, Village Roadshow would also distribute those movies in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, and Greece, while WB handled the rest of the world. And if Warner was not interested in releasing a project developed by VRP, Berman had the option to take it elsewhere. One of the first successes through this partnership was the comedy Analyze This, with Robert De Niro and Billy Crystal. This was a movie Bruce Berman was already familiar with, as he himself had bought the script when he was at Warner Brothers. Another major hit was The Matrix, which is probably what most people associate Village Roadshow with. It was even filmed in Australia, although curiously at Fox Studios in Sydney rather than their own stages. The company also had success investing in the shark movie Deep Blue Sea and the war movie Three Kings. They had the option of partnering with other WB producers too, like Castle Rock, resulting in them getting a stake in Miss Congeniality. While Berman had ambitions of developing his own projects under Village Roadshow, many of them did not come to fruition, like a new take on the 39 Steps that Robert Towne was going to direct, and an adaptation of the Charles Pellegrino novel Dust, which had Speed director Jan de Bont attached. Interesting enough, as recently as 2019, VRP was still trying to get Dust made. They were able to get the thriller Taking Lives produced, although not with their original choice Tony Scott behind the camera. It was released in 2004 with Angelina Jolie in the lead role, but the reviews were negative and its box office numbers were underwhelming. So Village Roadshow Pictures largely rested in the co-financing arrangement with Warner Brothers, with them often renewing their deal whenever the time came. Like I said, WB could choose the movies they could partner with, and largely handled some of the big blockbuster movies like Harry Potter and Scooby-Doo themselves. Thankfully, they did not leave them with scraps. Cats and Dogs, Ocean's 11, 2 Weeks Notice, Mystic River, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Happy Feet, and the Matrix sequels were among the notable hits that Village Roadshow helped Warner with, although their logo was in front of flops too, like The Adventures of Pluto Nash, The Majestic, and Catwoman. Of course, they did not exclusively finance projects for WB during their time together. The Tony Goldwyn-directed drama Walk on the Moon was picked up by Miramax. They helped produce the comedies Saving Silverman for Sony Pictures, as well as Down to Earth and Zoolander at Paramount, and came on board the psychological thriller Don't Say a Word, which was a new Regency production released by 20th Century Fox. However, for the most part, Village Roadshow was happy to stick with Warner Brothers throughout the 2000s. Even when they invested in the occasional box office flop, a success like I'm Legend or Get Smart or Sherlock Holmes would usually be around the corner. Their relationship continued into the 2010s, benefiting nicely through investments in the Lego Movie and other WB productions. Village Roadshow decided to expand their footprint, though, and signed a similar co-financing deal with Sony Pictures in 2014, while still retaining their partnership and first-look deal with Warner. Among the first films they put their money in at Sony through this new arrangement were The Equalizer and Annie. The VRP logo also appeared in front of films like Goosebumps, Concussion, Passengers, and Paul Feig's Ghostbusters. However, this deal did not end up as fruitful as the WB one, and Passengers became the final Sony film to have Village Roadshow's involvement. Although even the Warner Brothers partnership started to dwindle, with the company not co-financing as many of their movies, partly at the insistence of WB, who did not want them on board. They were involved in movies like King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, The 1517 to Paris, Ready Player One, and Joker. However, while they hoped to have a stake in the Lego Movie sequels and spin-offs, that never happened. Village Roadshow Pictures did attempt to develop more of their own in-house productions and rely less on co-financing major studio films, but few of those ended up getting made. A film that would mark a major turning point for the company, and not in a good way, was The Matrix Resurrections. The Matrix franchise, as I've said, has always been associated with Village Roadshow, so they would naturally be involved with a fourth movie. However, the film would also become part of Warner Brothers' controversial practice of releasing movies in theaters and on HBO Max on the same day, which many felt affected the grosses. Not helping matters is WB did not inform the production companies and co-financiers of their 2021 slate of this plan beforehand. A few months after the release of The Matrix Resurrections, Village Roadshow sued Warner Brothers over their release strategy, arguing that it hurt the film's box office performance. The lawsuit also claimed WB was trying to take full ownership of previous movies they helped finance. WB would bring an arbitration case against VRP, leading to a long legal battle between both companies. The Warner Brothers lawyers especially went for the big guns, as they accused VRP of not paying the agreed-upon share of their co-financing arrangement. And while they did receive a production credit on Wonka, even that became part of the lawsuit, as Village Roadshow said WB tried to keep them off the movie by claiming it was not a prequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Ultimately, Warner Brothers would prove victorious and was awarded $125 million. Meanwhile, they also ran into trouble with the Writers Guild of America, who ordered their members not to work with VRP due to the company failing to pay their writers. Considering the majority of screenwriters working in the United States are part of the WGA, that obviously puts a serious dent on their projects. As a result of all this, along with dwindling profits, Village Roadshow Pictures filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in March of this year. Now, some of you might be wondering what the Village Roadshow in Australia that operates movie theaters and theme parks has to do with this. Well, it turns out absolutely nothing. After the bankruptcy was announced, they put out a statement basically saying they're not affiliated with me. Their stake in the company, which is based in California, had lessened considerably over the years, and they currently own only 3% and have pretty much no involvement in their operations. In their statement, Village Roadshow Australia even said they would strip their use of the name. Following the bankruptcy, a number of companies, including Warner Brothers, put up bids to acquire their assets. In the end, Alcon Entertainment, the production company behind Blade Runner 2049 and the recent Garfield movie, acquired them, thus giving them the rights to their entire library, including partial rights to the WB movies they co-financed, as well as anything they had in development. So whenever the next Matrix movie comes out, it's entirely possible that we'll see the Alcon logo at the start. As for Village Roadshow Pictures, they certainly had major ambitions and were able to get involved in some big movies, but they were just not able to carve their own identity, and when their relationship with Warner Brothers strained, it really seemed to fall apart for them. See you next time.